In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, peace be upon you. Apologize, I speak slowly. To speed up this video, click on settings, bottom right of the screen, then click on speed and select a suitable speed. I want to speak about a vision that I've had. Now, on very few occasions, I've sensed something that I feel I sense something beyond time. For instance, on one occasion I was angry with my husband because he'd borrowed several thousands of pounds from me, and then rather than repaying me, he went to Pakistan. So what I decided to do was get a credit card, apply for a credit card on his name, and it actually came through, and on the credit card it said M. Salim. So I thought I would use it every now and again to build up credit, and that way I could withdraw the money that he owed me and the debt would be in his name. Yes, it was a little naughty, but that is what I decided to do. So on one occasion I went into an Asian supermarket and I was queuing to pay. Now I could hear the till operator talking to the customer in front, and their voices and their words became strange. They became as if it was as if they were talking a different language that I didn't understand. And I started feeling quite distressed and in a state of panic in my mind, thinking, what is going on? I have no idea what they are saying. And then in my confused state, I started wondering what response I would have if the woman asked me about the name M. Salim on the card, because that is a man's name generally. So even though my mind was in a state of panic, I decided on a name that I would say, because the first name is unisex and the name is Muzammal, because boys and girls can be called that. So once it was my turn, and actually the confused state seemed to lift a little, and she looked at the card and looked at me and said, M. Salim, what's the M for? Because generally it would be Mohammed Salim. So now that I had calmed down, the confused state had lifted, I replied Muzammal quite calmly. Now I do believe that this happened, this state that I went to in my mind or wherever I went to, it was basically I was being shown the future, that she's going to ask me that question and I need to be prepared with a response. Just to conclude the story about the card, I did actually give the card to Salim, because when he returned from Pakistan he did actually refund the money to me, so that was a little happy ending. But there was also another occasion that I went for a meal with work colleagues, and I was queued up to pay for my meal, and somebody came and stood to the right of me. Now, I didn't recognize them, although I didn't look at them properly. I looked at them in my peripheral vision. I didn't recognize who had stood on the right of me. The person seemed quite big and quite fat, and I assumed it was just some other customer and not anybody I knew. But when I turned around and looked directly at my work colleague, I realized it was him, and he is actually very tall and very thin. So when we returned to work, I asked him if he had ever been overweight, because I perceived him as quite a big overweight man in my peripheral vision. And he admitted actually that he had been overweight some years back, but he'd changed his lifestyle completely and lost a lot of weight. And now actually he used to be quite he was on the thin side rather than medium, I felt. So this leads me to the last part of what I wanted to say. And I wanted to introduce it first because I have had visions, as I said, that and explained in the previous examples, not many, where it seems that my mind goes into a confused state and I see something either in the past or the future. There's been a couple of occasions that I'm not mentioning because I think I've made my point. If anybody believes me, that's up to you. If not, that's entirely up to you as well. So, as I've said in a previous video, that I did in my waking life, I witnessed the sun rising in the west, and that vision hasn't come true yet, but as I described in the previous examples, there have been visions that have come true. So basically I was watching a YouTube video about India. Now the YouTuber was showing a map of India, but again my mind started experiencing a mental confusion, and I was seeing Pakistan, and I was struggling to understand why the author was repeating the name India while showing Pakistan over and over again. So it was this map that I was looking at, and obviously India is in the central position, but I was perceiving this as Pakistan. I know very well from all the years I've been alive that is India. But as I said, I went into some kind of state of mental confusion, as I had done with the till operator. And then gradually, it only lasts a few seconds. It's as if my mind clears and I started recognizing the country as India. Oh yes, it is India. Now, because India has never been Pakistan, I think that this vision that I had was a future vision, and this is the truth. I just wanted to explain to people what I saw. Now, the Gog and Magog anti-Christian Satanists that ruled the West. Okay, I'm not saying that everybody who is a white European is Gog and Magog anti-Christian Satanists, but those certainly who ruled the West and those who support their rulers are. They can choose not to be part of the Gog and Magog anti-Christian Satanist if they oppose them, but the majority of them are brainwashed by the Gog and Magog anti-Christian Satanists, and they continue to watch the mainstream media and television, which continues possessing their minds. They're under a state of demonic possession and mind control. So, as I said, they can choose to step away from this. And these Gog and Magog who are in the leadership, they are plotting and planning. They are trying to break up Pakistan and Syria and other countries. But the ultimate planner is Allah, and it's only His plans that come to pass. And whatever they do, because they don't realize what Allah is planning, it will achieve the ultimate goal that Allah has planned. And I just wanted to add that if India is called India, or if India is called Hindustan, these are inferior names to Pakistan, which even the name implies the land of the pure and holy. So that is actually a far better name to have than to call yourself Indians or to call yourself Hindustani, because Hindustan just implies a people of one faith, but the country next door to Pakistan, who no doubt will become Pakistan, if my vision is to come true as the previous ones did, then Pakistan is a far better name, and it is a multicultural country with people of different faiths, and the only thing that would be common was the purity of the person if they were to be called Pakistan. So finally, I would like to pray that Allah guides us, protects us, and gives us peace, that Allah guides the Satanists, the anti-Christians, the devil, and the Gog and Magog of the West, and that the ultimate success be that everyone unites for truth and justice, and that humans realize they are not wiser than Allah, and they shouldn't try to make their own rules in the world because of their limited intelligence and understanding. And I pray that Allah grants us guidance again, forgiveness. I pray that He makes the children be a source of peace for the parents, and the parents be a source of peace for the children, and that Allah makes me a source of peace for all, and that I achieve martyrdom by defending the vulnerable. Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, and Allah Hafiz. God protect you.